Um, I came to Bahrain in the beginning of 2013, and I didn't have a job when I first came here. So I had spent previously 10 years at university and 6 or 7 years also working in my field, working with women's rights and women's health and things like that. And when I came here for a boy, I thought, what am I going to do? There's no way I could just not have my job and give up my career. It's just out of character for me. So we looked around Bahrain, and we spoke with many Bahrainis, and my husband also helped me a great deal because he's lived here for a long time. And we decided that this is something, the programming of WCCI. So we looked around and we decided that this is something that I know how to do, but they didn't have here already. So it was essentially an untapped market. It was something that had never been done here before. There's a lot of really wonderful organizations here in Bahrain that are working on similar issues. The Supreme Council for Women, of course, they're doing amazing things at the policy level. The Wcci Team Center. There are many good groups doing women's projects, but domestic and sexual violence crisis response is something very specific, and it didn't exist here. And in fact, it doesn't exist anywhere in the GCC. And because Bahrain became one of the first countries in the region to outlaw domestic violence, explicitly criminalize domestic violence in 2015, it seemed like the perfect time to use Bahrain as sort of a launch pad to show the rest of the region how women's health and women's rights do blend seamlessly with traditional Arab and Muslim values. My husband is a Sudanese Muslim. He's been here for a long time, so he also helped me sort of navigate the early stages and figure out how to go about doing it. On a regular basis, he would say, "Shway shway habibti, this is not New York. Shway shway habibti, this is not New York." But little by little, we've got the help of many, many Bahraini women, and alhamdulillah, now it is working. I do have an educational background, specifically focusing on these types of things. I have 3 bachelor's degrees, theater, French, and international studies, and I also have 2 master's degrees. One was international studies, and I focused specifically on humanitarian program management, and also I have a master's in international public health, but that's all kind of boring. To me, it is a topic that it's not a women's problem. It's a problem that exists for humanity in all of the world. And it is a problem that is just touched me close to my heart. It is something that I feel was neglected and is extremely damaging for individuals, for families, for communities as a whole. And so it just seemed like little by little, like as I went through college and then graduate school and my work experience, things kind of came piece by piece to where we are now. So WCCI is the first and only domestic and sexual violence crisis response program in the whole region in the Middle East. Like I said, there's other similar things, but nothing specifically like this. And what that is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, immediate emotional and logistic support for victims of abuse. We operated initially exclusively in English just because it was easier for me as a director to get that off the ground. But this year, on February 20th, we launched our Arabic program. And this is, in fact, now that we have the Arabic program, it is, in fact, the only Arabic language crisis advocacy program in the world, which we are very proud of, very, very proud of it. We made a lot of phone calls to make sure that that claim was accurate. And there's other Arabic language counseling programs and things like that, but not a crisis advocacy program, which is unique, which entails 24 hours, 7 days a week, immediate telephone support. So anyone who needs help can call the telephone hotline. There will be a trained crisis advocate picking up the phone, guaranteed, to be there to answer questions, to tell the victim that they're sorry that this happened to them, it wasn't their fault, they didn't deserve it, nobody deserves this kind of thing. And then they're also there to act as a bridge to ensure that the victim has whatever she needs for going forward in whatever way that she chooses. Maybe she needs medical support. They will recommend that she goes to a hospital. Our official partner is American Mission Hospital, and so the on-duty advocate for that day will then meet her at the hospital immediately. Within 30 minutes, she's expected to arrive. Additionally, maybe the victim wants to file a police report. We will meet them at the police station so she can file a police report. Maybe she wants a lawyer, or maybe she wants a therapist. We will make a referral for her to get pro bono support from our legal partners and our therapy partners. The advocates are amazing. The advocates, we are more than, I think now we have more than 115 trained advocates. To become a certified crisis advocate, you have to go through and complete a comprehensive 40-hour training. The training is based off of the New York State Crisis Advocacy curriculum, and I have adapted it then page by page. I sat for 6 months and adapted it to fit the context of Bahrain, meaning it follows the legal statutes here in Bahrain, and culturally speaking, it's relevant and appropriate. So they go through the training and then they get their certification. We've got women from all over the world. We have many Bahrainis, we've got Saudi women, we've got Moroccan, we've got people from all over the MENA region. We have Americans, we have Canadians, we have many British people, we've got a couple of Australian. We also have Ethiopian, we have Sri Lankan, Indonesian, we have so many, and among our group we speak more than 20 languages, which means we are available to provide support for all of the victims in this country, which is quite diverse. So our mandate is to support anybody who's been a victim of domestic violence or sexual violence. Sadly, we aren't equipped to deal with every type of employment case, but there's a lot of other good groups in Bahrain that are. So if we get a call from a woman, let's say the employer's just not paying her, we will refer her to Migrant Workers Protection Society, or we refer her to the government services to see that she gets the support. But in the event that she has been a victim of physical abuse or sexual abuse, or even extreme psychological or emotional abuse, we will proceed with her case in the same way that we do with every other case, which is to say we ask her what it is that she wants. This is a key tenet of all advocacy services. We never ever give advice, and we never tell people what to do. We only say, what is it that you would like to do, and how can we help you accomplish that? Because based on whatever that answer is, now we know how to move forward. We figure out what her long-term goal is, and then we walk it back step by step. Maybe she wants a new job. We can help her find a new job. Maybe she just wants to go home. We'll help her facilitate those arrangements. Maybe she needs therapy because she's been abused and is really suffering. We will send her to a therapist. Maybe she wants to file a police report. We will help her do that. So we will do whatever it is that she wants to do. And the thing about problems like these are they're complicated and they're multifaceted, and there's no easy answer, because at the end of the day, typically what people want is for things to just be better. And it's hard to just make things better. Even with $1 million for every case, we couldn't make everything better. But we will ensure that she's not alone through the process. We will ensure that she knows that she did not deserve to be abused, and we will do everything we can in our power and within the structure of the laws of Bahrain to support her. If I would have known what I know now about starting this 4 years ago, I may have gone about it differently, because it's really hard. It's been really hard to manage the logistics and just to manage all of the sort of barriers that we've put up. We have accomplished our goal, at least initially. Our initial goal was to start a rape crisis program, and we have that. And it's working. It's a pretty well-oiled machine now. My end goal, I suppose, it's simply to end all violence against women. I don't think that I'm going to be out of a job anytime soon in that regard. But every day we're working to grow the program. We're working to expand it, to raise awareness. We coordinate with many groups here in Bahrain. So we have accomplished our first goal, but I guess day by day we're setting the goalpost further and further. As we accomplish one, we think about well, what's the next thing that we can do. We would like to expand out through the region, through the GCC if possible, and we're exploring that as options. Office hours here in Bahrain Financial Harbor, which let me also say, this office space has been given to us as a sponsorship by Bahrain Financial Harbor, which was extremely kind and generous of them. And our office hours are Sunday to Thursday, 11 to 4 p.m. Anyone can stop in, they're welcome. Alternatively, they can call the helpline phone numbers. The English helpline is 3844-7588, and I don't have the Arabic one memorized yet because it's new. Otherwise, they can visit the website, which is womenscci.org. That's WOMENSCCI.org. There's so many different ways to support us. There's ways to do in-kind sponsorships, meaning if you own a printing press, you know, if you want to let us come for discounted or free rates to print flyers for awareness raising purposes, or if you have an accounting firm and you want to do our accounting for us, because God knows I don't know how to do that. So there's all kinds of, I mean, running a not-for-profit organization like WCCI is simply running a business. At the end of the day, we run a business, but our customers, our clients who don't pay. So I'm learning how to do a lot of the business side of things that I frankly wasn't really trained for. I'm learning as I go, and so we have a lot of people that do already and could support us in that regard. Alternatively, anyone wants to become a volunteer, they can visit the website, learn more about the program, or stop in anytime.